On the basis of my past experiences, I have a strong preference to build any software, including the large language models or using the large language models in applications by going towards open source. I'm a huge proponent of open source software. Whenever there is a choice, I always go with an open source software instead of a vendor, especially if that is a technical competence that I want to maintain expertise within my own company. With respect to LLMs, as of the time, uh, right now, we all know that GPT-4 is the go-to for many companies because it has exceptional performance. But I'm very keen on exploring the potential of a lot of other open source alternatives like Falcon, Llama 2, or Mistral, which are easily available in public repos such as Hugging Face, Model Hub. I have done various videos on all of these open source models, and I can say with confidence that these open source LLMs are closing the performance gap with proprietary ones such as GPT-4 very rapidly. In this video, I'm going to show you a few of the reasons why I believe that open source LLMs are better than the closed source like GPT-4. The first and foremost, at first it appears that maybe the closed source models like GPT-4 are cheaper than the open source because you have to host the open source model either on-prem or in your own cloud, or maybe you would have to use some other cloud or external service to host them. But the thing is that open source models have no licensing or usage fee. And while there is an investment in the required hardware, it can be offset in the long term. And I have seen it time and again with databases, with operating system, and lot of other software that for an enterprise or even for a long time business, this always makes sense to have your own open source software within your own network. Then there is an issue of data privacy and security. Hosting open source models in your own infrastructure means that your data stays within your own network. It is always under your control. So you are compliant with lot of regulations and you can have peace of mind that your data hasn't left your own control. Then we have customization and flexibility. Open source models can be customized and fine-tuned for better performance on specific data. That is not always the case with proprietary and closed source model. You get what they presented to you. You cannot really point them to your own specific data, or if there is any option of doing that, that is always very limited. Community support is a huge thing. I mean, if you are maintaining any software, you might appreciate the importance of community support. Open source communities are a very tight knit and supportive communities. They provide support, assistance, and a rich avenue for improvements. Learning is a big thing because when you are hosting it yourself, you learn a lot. You understand what exactly you are doing. You understand in terms of large language models, all the intricacies of machine learning and natural language processing technologies. Also, open source models reduce dependency on external vendors, ensuring project viability and avoiding lock-in effect. Then, last but not least, there is explosive innovation which is happening around generative AI. As you already know that since the introduction of the initial Llama model, the open source community has released a number of improvements at an impressive speed and pace, and it is still going on. And it is sort of exploding at the moment. And even so much so that a lot of private companies who have proprietary LLMs have adopted these improvements within their own model. So you can see that open source LLMs present various benefits, which I have just described. But again, everything is not rosy. If you're hosting it by yourself, there are still huge challenges. I mean, you would have to come up with GPU clusters. You have to select between lot of options like whether to go with a public cloud like AWS, GCP, or Azure, or whether to go with proprietary companies like RunPod, and there are a lot of others. And I have done various videos on my channel. Having said that, I still believe that open source LLMs such as Falcon 40B, Llama 2 40B, and Mistral 7B have produced promising results for various tasks which I have tested with them. So, but if you're still committed to go with the proprietary models like GPTs, then maybe go with something like OpenAI's Enterprise, because OpenAI Enterprise is separate from the standard OpenAI API, so you can have your own mitigation strategy against potential risks stemming from relying giving your information to third party. But that won't be my choice. I would always opt to self-host it in a public cloud, for example, in AWS like Bedrock or something like that, or even in a targeted Gen AI hosting service like Runpod. That's it, guys. Very keen to know your thoughts and if what exactly you are doing with your LLMs or LLM based application, how you are hosting them, what are your thoughts. Please share your experience in the comments. And if you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much.